With a load of iron ore, 26,000 tons more than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed. Mississippi crew was born to be tough when the gals and all them I got the ship was afraid of the American side, coming back from some mill in Wisconsin. Big freighters go, it was better than most, with the crew and good, kept it well seasoned. The oil came late and the breakfast had to wait. The way spoke all of the railing. Every man knew as the captain in hell, which of November comes less.
What's up, guys? Smallmouth Crush. I got our lovely co-host, Epic Eric, who just randomly decided to leave last week because I couldn't post his Instagram handle.
And did you get it done?
I have to still play around with some stuff, but I think I'm getting closer.
All right, but I do appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Sorry, guys, we are late. We've been much later before, so I'm sure you'll forgive us.
That's on me, guys. That's on me. It was down at Lake Kerr. Yeah, I was the one that held up the stream today, man. Everybody was early. I'm normally early before you get in studio. I'm down in Nag's Head right now and was at Lake Kerr in North Carolina, fishing 2 individual tournaments, the Angler's Choice Team Tournament Trail with Captain Scooter Lilly, my team partner. And yeah, man, we got a chance to practice on Friday, see what was happening on the lake. It's always a good turnout, very competitive series. And yeah, we fished really good day one. Had a shot at a better finish. We did come in 7th out of close to 100 teams. And then on Sunday, we came in 3rd place, got 2nd place big fish and 3rd place option pot. And we had the winning fish on. I was telling Travis earlier today, guys, that if I was a younger man, yeah, we would have won. That's all. Really? I'll leave it at that. Yeah, but he put us around really, I mean, we were running and gunning all day. And we had a really good system, a 1-2 punch combo going, and then a 3rd little trick in the bag. We're fishing next weekend. I think the fish will be in the same stage, so I won't really talk about the technique tonight, but because some of the competitors watch. But yeah, I was proud of our finishes, and it really hurt to lose that fish. But what are you going to do, man? It's fishing. When it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I see that somebody asked about the painting behind me. That was the last painting that my father ever painted before he passed away. And I asked him to do it. It's a scene that he kind of imagined in Nag's Head, where we have our beach house. So that's my dad, Gene Galasso, in his last original oil painting. Yep.
Gotcha.
There you go. Yeah,
very good. Well, I'm gonna struggle with getting the names tonight. My chat GPT'd it for a little while, and I get so mad at this thing. And then I watched the Joe Rogan episode on my way back from Thayer's today, and that really freaked me out. Yeah, I actually now think that we are AI already. Like, we're creating this. Like,
oh no.
Yeah.
I still think we're real, but I mean, tell us a little bit more about how you got there, how you arrived at this crazy place.
Welcome, JP.
What's up,
Welcome,
fellas?
JP AI. How are you, man?
Eric, hello, Eric. How are you doing?
Hello? I can't hear him. Did you say something, JP?
Yeah.
Can you hear him, Travis?
I can.
I cannot hear JP.
I don't know, man. Get it fixed.
Now that's odd.
It is.
Wow. Why can I hear you and not him?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
Well,
Interesting.
Let me go to.
You
Can you hear
figure it out,
J,
and we'll
JP?
bring
Say
you back
something
in.
now.
You can.
JP, say
Can
something.
you hear me now?
Nope.
If
Wow.
can you hear me, Eric?
Oh, perfectly. You're
Well, then
coming through.
He's
This is
messing with us, JP.
JP. No, I promise you, I cannot hear what he's saying. How
Huh.
can I hear you and not him?
I don't know.
Eric, what's your birthday?
Okay, that's bizarre. What?
I'm not
heck?
sure. Well, you
Did
figure
you
it out.
send me what?
Figure it out. All right. He's going to mess around with that, and hopefully he can figure out his sound.
Hey, good seeing you yesterday, bud.
Yeah. I dropped off. Did you eat that trout?
It's in the freezer. I'm going to eat it this weekend.
Okay, good. Yeah, we caught some browns. I had a pretty epic day 2 days ago. We caught a limit of browns, then we went largemouth fishing, jacked on some big largemouth, then caught a steelhead on a Ned rig on accident, then caught a huge pike on a snack craw, and then caught a bunch of big smallmouth. So, yeah.
Nice.
Not too bad.
Yeah, I did some fishing this weekend, too.
Yeah, how'd you do?
Oh, good. I took my dad to Lake George on Saturday. We caught like 65 to 70 bass, and then yesterday I took my son and my father over to the local lake here, Nassau Lake. My son's 11. I gave him a brand new bait caster set up, and he was swinging a chatterbait around, and he caught a couple bass and a big pike too. So that was kind of cool.
Very good. Eric, can you hear us? And
I heard him before I got in studio. JP, say something.
What's up, Eric?
I can hear you now. Awesome.
All right.
I mean, explain that. That's
I'm glad when we don't have technical issues, because I kind of struggle with that sometimes. Before we get started, guys, we have a guest lined up tonight. We're going to learn a lot about fishing up here in the Northeast, and I'm excited for that.
I got a really good intro for him when we're going to bring him on.
Okay, good. Okay. I'm sure you do. I just want to give everyone a heads up. We are going to officially claim the winner for the Smallmouth Crush auction with Epic, Eric, and myself on May 5th. Right now, the current bid is at $900, and I have to look and see who it is. But if anyone is interested and they want to get out with us on May 5th up here on the St. Lawrence River, you're going to fish with Eric and myself. It's just a one person is all we can take, and the top bid right now is $900. If you're interested, we're probably going to do a little filming that day as well, and the fishing is going to be unbelievable. So let me know if anyone's interested. Just comment auction with your I guess price.
Name?
Right now, Drummy 33 is leading.
All right. We're looking forward to it, Drummy 33.
He reached out on Instagram.
Okay.
So we'll see. And I know we had a few other people that were doing some bidding too. I also want to give you guys a heads up. I just had 2 dates open, and I hate this part about my job. I had 2 dates open next week. I have a very short window in our early season here. Our season closed, May 10th for a while. So I always start this week, and I go pretty much doubles until May 10th. And so I just had the 20th of April and the 21st of April opened up. So if anyone's interested, you're more than welcome to take advantage of those 2 dates. So Flock, if you want to get up here and fish with me on the 20th and 21st, let me know. I know you were leading the auction. I think Travis Myers, I'm not sure if he's in yet or not. We got a pretty good group of guys joining us here. It looks like in the comments. Oh, Waves Current and Ice says, I said the 21st and 22nd on Facebook. Why do I have? Yes. And Waves, you are correct. April 21st and April 22nd is open. I'm going to put that in the comments. And I also had the 18th this Saturday pop up. It's been a struggle, JP. You know the deal. I don't take deposits because it's a hassle. And if I was, maybe next year for new clients, a lot of my regulars don't cancel, but sometimes newer guys I haven't fished with before will cancel. And so maybe I need to let me know in the comments what you think is fair. I mean, is a $500 deposit fair?
What do most
I take
guys do?
$100 deposit per day booked.
Well, $100 doesn't help me pay the bills, JP, when someone cancels 2 weeks prior. What's $100 going to do? Does that make sense? I'd rather not deal with a $100 bill.
It's more to get the commitment. You know what I mean? Somebody doesn't want to burn $100.
Well, the guys, and to be honest, the guys that are canceling, they have it's not like they're, I don't feel like going fishing that day. They had some serious stuff come up. But from a guy trying to make a living and knowing that I only have a certain amount of days, I try to do 120 trips a year, not having those covered, that hurts,
You don't want to take a $400 deposit like it's being recommended, because if you book a trip in January and you take a $400 deposit, then when you go to do the trip, you're doing the trip for
then you're like $400 that day.
Right.
Yeah. That's why I never want deposits.
The $100 is a commitment on their end. It's just a good faith commitment,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good food for thought.
I normally don't have too many issues. It's just, it does kind of suck because I don't know if I'm going to get those, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get those booked or not, but we'll see. But like I said, most people do have legit reasons. It's not like they're like, I don't feel like fishing next week. Things come up. I know that. But just from a guy standpoint, we were talking earlier to JP. We know a couple other guys that had some cancellations this month as well, right? Did you had a cancellation earlier too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think what things happen. It was a repeat customer for me, and he already booked for next season. You know what I mean? But he just had a work obligation popped up.
Sure.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, stuff comes up. It's just it's tricky up here because there's a lot of our clients are driving from quite a ways away. It's not like they live down the road,
right? So
it always makes it tough. So I do have this Saturday, the 18th, 21st, and 22nd open. It looks like I filled all my afternoon trips. I do have the last day, May 10th. I do have that open. But maybe I'd like to just go fishing that day. But if anyone's interested.
Scott Van says he wants you to lock him up for May 4th afternoon.
Oh,
Travis?
I think
Travis?
we talked earlier, I believe.
Okay. Scott Van.
I'm going to do that right now.
And a lot of people are saying, maybe 30% of the trip cost, or a lot of people said halvesies.
Yeah. And, I'm not worried about it now. Maybe for next year. It's just something a lot of people have been asking me, do you take a deposit? And I never have, because, it's like, I don't know. It's always, it's a hassle.
Okay. To take money.
Just over the phone. I don't know, man.
Let's talk about something positive, man. Richie Thayer and the gang at Thayer's Marine keeping me and Travis on the big water all season long. Travis swung by the house this weekend on his way down there to pick his boat up. I'm in a brand new 521R 2026 this year. Travis got to see it. We undid the cover. He liked the way it was set up. I think he was thoroughly impressed with the new rig for Big JP's guide service this summer. This is going to be a summer of success, not only for Travis, but for me as well. We are going to team up work together and put people on the biggest fish that they've ever caught out of Lake Ontario. Just another day on the water, right? I am so looking forward to getting this thing going. I cannot wait. And with Thayer's Marine behind us, we know we ain't going to miss a trip, baby. That dude works his ass off to keep the guys that take care of him on the water all season long. Oh, yeah.
There you go, man. Yeah.
Right.
And I'll just add to that, you know, Captain Scooter Lee, my team partner, man, he's booking trips for big bull reds, June, July, and August. And you will have a legitimate shot to catch a world-class bull red on the Pamlico Sound and maybe hook a tarpon in the process. It's legitimately world-class bull red fishing. And you're in shallow water a lot of the time, and these fish have nowhere to go but out. And if you've never caught a 50-inch red drum, let me just tell you, they pull pretty hard. It was an unbelievable experience. I've done it once with him, and it was incredible.
And I'm in the
50-inch club.
What are they called? What are they? The red fish?
Red drum. Yeah, red drum. These are big bull reds.
Drum sheephead. I'm your man up here too. We can get you on those.
Yeah, we'll put you on the sheephead of your life.
Hey, world-class sheephead fishing. Yeah, 50-inch, you know, that's a great question, Waves Currents. I don't know, man. I wish I could post the picture to the comments on my Instagram profile. But I was holding this old drum up, man, and it was just like, oh my gosh, this thing was a beast. It was a beast. It was a beautiful fish. And, you know, these are just older fish. These are really old fish, man. 50-inch fish is pretty extraordinary. Yeah, and they're the waves, to tell you, they're all different. Like, some are really fat, some are leaned out. It's wild to see the body types that these big bull reds are. So it's extraordinary. And he's doing striper trips right now, and the striper it's just madness. 100 fish days, anywhere from 16 inches to 30 pounds. Yeah, so if you want to get your line stretched, it's pretty darn exciting. He also does bass charters, but he'd like to do more of those. But yeah, that salt is where it's at for him. That's what people want to do. And speckled trout fishing.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right. Before we get into our guests for tonight, I do want to let you guys know we're going to do the super chat giveaway. I'm giving away a Beast Coast t-shirt. Very cool. I like the graphics on that.
Nice.
What do you think? This is kind of a nice little simple gift pack. We got 2 hats tonight. We got Mercury and a Monster Bass hat's going to go in there. Ooh, we got some GLF finesse baits. We're going to throw 3 packs in there for you guys.
Nice.
I got more stuff. I got a Monster Bass t-shirt. It's like the clothing attire gift bag. And then we got the Flashpoint jerkbait we're going to throw in there for you.
Booyah.
And you'll get a couple Smallmouth Crush stickers. How's that sound, Eric?
I like it.
So get your super chats in. We'll keep track, and we will draw a winner at the end of tonight's show. What else we got? Anything new, JP, that I'm missing, forgetting?
Man, I think we're on a roll here tonight, honestly. We did What's New at the Bass Lab. We got caught up with Eric on his tournament series. We talked about you stopping by the house. You did the super chat. We talked about the giveaway for the trip. I just want to know, before we bring the guest on, after ragging on me all winter about how you thought my new boat was going to look like shit, when we peeled the cover down, did your opinion change at all?
I think you're going to be very disappointed in the carpet color this summer.
What color did he go with?
When you look at his carpet, it is darker than the screen on this live stream.
Are you in black?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what he does to me? He goes to me, he's like looking at the boat. I'm like, a lot of dirt and gravel and junk and fish slime isn't black. It's white or light color. He's going to want to shop vac with him 24/7.
Oh,
and then he goes today. Or yesterday, it was like, I don't know, 40 degrees out. He's like, man, but when I was fishing today, it was 40 degrees. I could touch that carpet. It was just heating me up. How's that going to be in July, bud?
Oh, man, brutal.
I bought a cordless vacuum, and it's in the rod locker so that at the end of the trip, I can do it before I even get out of the boat.
Uh-huh. All right. It would drive me nuts. Man. I did accidentally I don't know, accidentally, but messed up an order on my first Camus, and it was the lightest gray color that they offer. And I'm a pretty clean, neat freak when it comes to my carpet and my boats. And it was the worst year of my life.
Somebody said you're going to need a sprinkler system, Matthew Weimer.
Just your standard gray carpet that's
the one. That's the move. All right, so JP, it sounds like he loves the boat except for the carpet. And Brad Crumb says,
I love the carpet too. It grew on me real quick, Eric. And when you're going down the lake and that thing's just a beacon, black beacon going down there, I like it. It's different.
A black beacon. Okay, I gotcha. I think black like disappears, right? Like, what's the color of your boat?
It's flat gray.
Oh, that's like a ghost boat, man.
So it's flat gray, black, and red pin. It looks like Dale Earnhardt.
Ah, race car driver. There you go, man. All right, you're channeling your Dale Earnhardt. Nice.
JP, I want to know, after a week of fishing and catching all these fish and having them throw stuff up and gravel boat ramps, and I want to know how you feel. And then just wait till that heat comes, and then we'll talk. All right.
Somebody said it's going to be hotter than a Satan's nuts sack this summer. Brad Crumb.
You'll make it work, man. I wouldn't be complaining. You got a brand new boat. You're in good shape.
No, that thing is sweet, man. I love it. I love it. I love the black carpet.
All right.
It's your BBD, bud.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, we need to talk about something.
Yeah, let's go, Travis. What do you got?
JP sent me a picture
of.
Oh, shoot. Hold on, before we get there. Travis in the
Myers.
Nope. Okay. Wise in the comments. He just texted me. Listen, I am going to I have something really cool. You guys are going to really appreciate this, I think.
All right.
You have to I have a select amount of St. Croix codes I can give out. And I believe you can get 50% off a rod or 40% off a reel.
Wow.
Yeah. If any of my if anyone watching the show tonight, or if they're watching the replay, is interested, only reach out to me if you're interested and you're going to make a purchase. You have to make the purchase this month. I should have done this 13 days ago and it slipped my mind. But if anyone's interested, Sean, I'm gonna write down it, and then if you don't hear from me, send me a DM and I'm gonna send those codes out, but only if you're gonna use them, guys. Okay.
Interesting.
All right.
Is that something new they're doing this year for the pro stack?
I was shocked.
You think it's because rod sales are down and they'll take 50%?
It's just it's called friends and family codes. And it basically, and I consider everyone on the show a friend. And I don't think this is a bad way of doing it. I think it's what it's going to do is, if you don't use St. Croix, maybe encourage you to pick up a rod, try it. I'm sure you're going to love it, and perhaps purchase more. So I literally have 50% off up to 3 St. Croix rods.
No way, that's
40%
great.
off up to 3 reels.
Wow.
Wow, that's huge. So here I go. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 rod codes and 5 reel codes.
Wow.
So let me know, guys.
Lake Erie Lee says he'll buy 3 rods tonight.
In stock only.
I'm gonna try to. Here's what's gonna happen. Just either, if you have my cell phone number, text me.
There, you got your first text.
There they are. If you have my Instagram stuff, just send me a DM, and I'm gonna do it by first come, first serve, right?
And does each code have to be fully used? Because once you give out the code, it's done, right?
Yeah. So I really want you to buy one. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
I think we got everybody. Yeah. No, it's for any rod and reel. I think we're good. All right.
Yeah.
We filled that. Okay.
Yeah, that didn't take long.
All right. There we go.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad they're doing that for you. That's really cool.
It is very cool. I was shocked. And you know what really sucks?
For the
because I messed up, there's a little there's like a incentive for the pro staffer to whoever sells out first.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and you would have done that, but then you waited 13 days like a chode.
Yeah. So I would have got
one night.
I would have got a rod and reel of my choice.
You'd have made it happen for you.
God.
Oh man, you should have had your AI do it.
JP needs one to replace the Lost Mystery Rod. The Lost Mystery Rod was returned yesterday afternoon. It's in Travis's possession, so we can stop talking about that now. That'd be great.
And where did it appear from?
It was in my garage.
And it wasn't even the rod I had on my spreadsheet. I don't know where.
The mystery.
I don't know where a 7-foot medium Legend Extreme is.
Legend Extreme. Oh
yeah.
Man.
Show Eric that picture.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hold it up. JP texted me a picture of me, but it's not me. He found my twin. And it really bothered me and freaked me out. Are you ready for this?
It's your replicant.
Does that look like me?
Oh my God. No, I don't think anybody looks like anybody. But
that doesn't look like me?
I mean, it's close.
Oh yeah.
And I had a beard?
Oh
it's close.
The eyes are even blue, bud.
It's close. I'll give you that.
Eric, he was freaked out. He goes, "Why are you taking pictures?" I sent him that picture, and I go, "Looks like you had a rough day, bud." And he goes, "My day was fine, but why do you?"
I even thought it was me. I'm sorry. Say what you said, JP.
I said, "That's not you, bud. That's some guy that looks like you." And then he's like, "Well, who is it?" So then I had to figure out who it was, and I sent him his Facebook account. And then he's like, "Well, that one picture looks like me, but at least the other ones don't." He says, "So."
Right. That's funny.
All right. His beard's less gray. Yeah, that's right. Shut up. All right.
All right, we ready to bring this guy on?
Oh, yes. Why don't you do before you do that, guys, remember, we got the super chat. I think we only got one person entered. Bunch of
we got one.
Tackle tonight. Get those in, and let's get ready to bring our guest of the evening on. Go ahead, JP.
Guys, he is the king of Candlewood. He is a Connecticut Nation champion, a Bassmaster Classic qualifier, hailing from Connecticut, New York, the beast from the east, Noah Winslow.
Nice.
What's going on, guys? That was good.
Very good. So there's a place called Connecticut, New York. How about that?
Yeah, from Connecticut, New York. Yeah.
I mean, that's what you said. Is he from Connecticut or New York?
No, he's from Connecticut.
Oh, okay. I got you. I thought there really was a Connecticut, New York all of a sudden. I'm like, wait a minute. That sounds weird.
I think if Dave Mercer ever retired, I would definitely put your bid in, JP.
Oh, I would too.
Thank you.
That was good.
Can you imagine JP doing like an impromptu rap on stage?
Right?
One of those? Because he's really good at them. I mean, he can just make it up on the spot.
Noah Winslow will whoop your ass in a 1999 Stratos with a 12-volt Minn Kota. It's not even a Fortrex. I don't know what it's called. It's the lightest one they make, and the dude's got scope on it, and he will scope his ass off with that piece of shit trolling motor. And
it was a Fortrex. It was a 36-volt Fortrex on a 17-foot Stratus because my new boat didn't come in last April, and I had to make like a little arrow pointer for the scope, and it was a good time. I was scared to drive over 35 miles an hour because I didn't want to blow the motor on it. It was my buddy's boat.
Funny.
So, but it was a good little unit.
Hey,
there you go, man. That's all you need. You could have done it in a John boat.
That's pretty much what it was. It was so windy.
Right? I mean, 35 miles an hour.
Yeah, pretty much. It went faster, but it made some noise. The motor made some noises I wasn't a huge fan of when I went faster than that.
Oh, that's funny,
so
man.
I was not like going to blow that thing up.
Like those old racing Mercury engines with the reeds, they would rattle when you like really punched it.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy, man. Good stuff. Well, welcome to the show, Noah.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So just for people that may not be aware, can you just give us a little background on yourself and kind of how you got into bass fishing and how you, we'll get into all I got a bunch of questions for you about the Classic. Right. But let's get into leading up to the Classic, but let's start like from way back when.
All right. Yeah. So I'm Noah Winslow. I'm from Connecticut. Now I guide on Candlewood, fish Candlewood a bunch in the opens and stuff like that. But before that, I started fishing tournaments when I was 11 on Candlewood. I did like the junior Bassmasters, fished a junior world championship when I was like 13 or 14. Did a bunch of the Bassmaster high school stuff. Skipped out on college. Like I had gone to all 4 years of high school. I went to the high school national championship on Kentucky Lake and just got my ass kicked every time I went there. But then in college, I stayed close, and a good friend of mine like took me fishing. So I fished like for the Toyota series. So I fished all those as a co-angler for 2 years, and I won one on the St. Lawrence River in 2019 as a co-angler, which was super cool because that let me buy. Cool. I ended up buying his 20-foot skeeter after that, and then just honestly just started fishing like locally, like things on Candlewood like really started to click, and I kind of like figured like it like started to become more of like understanding like how fish actually work, weather patterns, and all these things, and just slowly started taking it out of state, and it got better and better in the past couple of years. I fished the Reynolds Garage Marine has a tournament trail. JP and actually have a tournament on Candlewood this weekend that we're fishing. But I fished those, and I won team of the year in 2024 and 2025 with me and my buddy. We won the championship 2 years in a row. And then this fall, I've qualified for the Bass Nation National Championship for a couple of years now. And I went this past fall across Wisconsin and finished second. And that qualified me for the Bassmaster Classic and direct entry into the EQs. So we're going to take a stab and see if
nice.
So it's kind of nice because I'm fishing the opens I've never really been like out of the Northeast a bunch, like Kentucky Lake a little bit, Lake Cumberland, a handful of places. But just trying to like get my feet wet, fishing like, totally out of the state, out of the region, things like that. And going to pre-practice a bunch for the EQs and see what could happen, honestly, just being optimistic about it and just like to go fishing pretty much.
Heck yeah. Sounds like a great journey, man. What's the schedule look like? Where's it going to take you?
So we already had one. The first open I ever fished was in Florida. I'd never been to Florida. I top 10'd that one.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then I went to Eufaula. We're going to Norman next week, and then or in 2 weeks. And then for the EQ, then we go to Erie on Buffalo, which I'm super excited for.
Yeah.
We got gypped in the one Toyota that I fished there. We only got to fish for 1 day because it blew so hard every day, which is to be expected.
Yeah.
But then Gunnersville, Norfolk, and Toledo Bend in the fall for the EQs. So
how about that, man? Wow.
Man, he's got a packed season.
Packed season for sure.
Yeah,
I think
dude,
you're the only
awesome.
one that went to the Bass National Championship up there in Wisconsin from the Northeast that didn't total their boat on that trip, Noah. How does that make you feel?
No way.
That was a pretty treacherous place. Like it was 3 feet. So like it was very different than like everything you see on like Bassmaster. There was no duckweed, none of that, because they drained the pool for like winter pool.
So where'd you go? I'm sorry, set it up for everybody. JC knows where you went.
It was La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Okay, gotcha.
So it was like,
thank you.
There was like no frogging, like none of anything you see on bass, like when the elites go there in the summer.
Yeah.
And so like you're running through these places and like little chutes, wing dams everywhere, and like I don't know how I didn't hit anything. I fished the main channel, and I think that was like why it worked out good for me. So
you stayed safe.
Yeah,
stayed within the channel markers.
Pretty much stayed safe.
That's crazy.
What time of year was that one?
That was in end of October, and if you're gonna go to La Crosse, I highly recommend it.
So I would assume there was a bunch of schoolers on some of the wing dams and stuff.
That's what ended up happening. That's how a lot of guys caught them. It was the water temp dropped 11 degrees from the first day of practice to the first day of the tournament. And there was a bunch of schoolers, like a lot of guys were just like minnowing them on wing dams and like little like pieces of rock and stuff. And I actually caught I weighed in, it was a 4-day tournament. I weighed in 18 largemouth off the main river on main rock, fishing like 2 feet of water with a free rig.
Rig, that's what I'm talking about. I love it.
Oh yeah, very slept on still, I feel like.
I agree.
But that place in the fall is unbelievable. The guys like fishing schooling fish on the wing dams are catching like 50 fish a day, like as many as you want. Somebody caught an 8-pound smallmouth, which I didn't think lived in that river. So
wow. The guys that were catching 50 fish a day, were they little? Were they little like smaller size fish, or those people compete?
Like there was just so many like 2.5 to like 3.5 pound smallmouth in there. It was pretty incredible. And there, there were some big ones too. Like some guys weighed like, not weighing like 25, but like 18, 19 pounds of smallmouth a day.
Solid, man.
Solid fish. Yeah, for sure.
That time of year.
Go ahead, Travis.
Well, I'm just saying that time of year, I fished that section of the river long time ago. Yeah. I mean, I was still 3.5 hours from the Mississippi River growing up, so I didn't get out there a whole lot, but it's pretty scenic. It's a cool experience because there's nothing like that here,
right?
To fish. And in the fall, I mean, in the morning you got that nice crisp air and the leaves are turning, and it's like I don't know, I remember some days it was almost dead calm but colder, and man, it was. This was when, Eric, remember when I think it was Bass Pro Shops, or there was what's that, maybe the Yum Money Minnow first came.
Yeah, that was big.
We were rigging like the 5-inch on like I don't know,
jig
head. And we were just like, this was like when it first came out. Like we were all kind of new to swim baits, like hollow belly swim baits, and they ate them, man.
They still do.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Very cool, man. So what did it take to win, Noah?
So I had 73 something for 4 days, and the winner had like 76.
So you were right there.
Yeah, pretty close. We had a 4-hour fog delay on day 3, so we only got to fish for 4 hours. So that could have changed some things too.
I'm sure for everybody, right?
Yeah. I got the guy Nick Trim that won. He lives right there. Pretty much there's been like 2 nation events there, and he's won both of them. So
time on the water, man.
Definitely a tough guy to beat there.
Doesn't he refer to himself as a washed up local?
Yeah, I think so.
Who was that?
I think
Nick
that's
Trim.
cool. I think that's cool. I like that. So tell me about your free rig, man. Not to dive right into techniques.
I was going to ask that, Eric.
I don't talk to a lot of people that free rig, and I feel like I got onto it early, and I do it in a lot of tidal water situations, and it's a money bait. But let's hear how do you work? I know you scope more than probably I do, but let's hear how you rig and what are you doing with it? This is cool.
Yeah, so like in La Crosse, I didn't use scope at all, other than for seeing like
even cooler.
It was all like 2 to 4 feet. It was essentially just to see where the rock got the highest, but like never watched a fish eat it, anything. But my free rig setup, like started with one of my buddies. Like I got to give credit to him, my tournament partner.
Sure.
Like, we were fishing a couple years ago, and
yep.
I was just kind of doing like traditional, like a Texas rig. I was flipping, and he was just throwing a free rig behind me, and it was just like a progression of like a full year, like season of like we kind of realized that we don't know what it does exactly. Like obviously it separates from the weight and everything, but we still throw light weights and stuff. But whatever that rig does is incredibly different. Like, and we learned that like pretty quickly, like fishing around here on Candlewood, the Connecticut River, a tidal fishery, fishing at Champlain. And it just kind of came to be like my favorite deal with it is like you could throw like a Senko. You honestly could throw whatever you want on it. Like you could put this Seduce minnow on it if you want. Like I've seen guys do that. I like a bluegill bait on it. East Coast, Derek and I kind of been working on a bluegill bait coming soon. So that'll be pretty exciting. I'm for that.
It does some special things with those bluegill style rib baits. I think
like,
everybody knows what we're talking about. Noki, exactly.
Yeah, same thing with like Florida. Like my top 10, like I caught 2 or 3 7s on it in that tournament. So it's an exciting thing. It's definitely a good thing. Like the free rig there, pretty much like anywhere I go, scope, no scope. Like Florida was a no scope tournament. So any of that, like
I think it's underappreciated, and you can do it like
appreciated.
I power shot a lot, and then I power free rig. And so I mean, I don't know if you're doing the same thing, but
I'm using a lighter weight.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's talk about that. I mean, I've done 3/16 quarter, and then I mean, the lighter weights have been better for me, but I'm fishing in the dirt a lot, right?
So, yeah, a lot of times I'm fishing at shallow too, like less than 5 feet.
Yeah, that's where I live. So yeah, we're talking the same language.
Yeah, a lot of it's like Mississippi was like an 1/8 and a 3/16 a lot. And really like that elongated teardrop weight, like it just doesn't get hung a lot. I kind of learned that drop shotting at the St. Lawrence like a bunch of years ago. Like I think it was like Demiki made a drop shot weight that was like basically one of those free rig weights, and it was kind of incredible like how much it didn't get hung up like when you're back, like when we're doing a lot of drifting and stuff. Like
I had the coating on it, right?
Yeah.
It had the I guess the weight printed on it too.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite drop shot weights out there.
That thing just didn't get hung up. Like I'd use like a regular like round ball or something because I would just pour my own like making lead, and you just go through so many, and then that weight for some just doesn't get hung up, and the free rig weight's very similar.
I love it. And I find that if I'm free rigging on a little bit more semi-slack line, it does what you want it to do. You can't tight line it. Exactly. And that's hard for people to do. I think that's the biggest mistake when people free rig what they're doing. They're defeating the purpose of the free rig, right? You have to do it on semi-slack.
Okay, explain that again.
So go ahead, Noah. I mean, I asked you the question.
Pretty much what
I'm talking about.
Yeah, like it's basically like the free rig. The whole example of it is like this weight slides freely away from like just like a regular like offset hook with a plastic. And ideally you have like a lot of guys fished it with a heavy weight because they want separation. But if you throw, like you could see it on, like when you look at it on scope, it'll separate, and you want to fish it on like a semi-slack line. So originally, like that initial cast is really like important because when it hits the bottom, the weight will kind of come down, and that bait will just kind of float, and it'll like float, hover, like depending on what bait you put on, it does a bunch of different things.
It does.
And like for the first couple inches or even like feet, like if you skip it under a dock, like you may be dragging your bait for like 5 feet because your weight landed here, but your bait landed back here.
Back in there,
like, you basically have a weightless bait that like got down there a little bit faster, is way more natural. That thing, it's a pretty, like I almost don't use a Texas rig, like unless I have to punch heavy cover now.
Right. Really? I think you hit on it right there. That skipping, especially that natural fall, and what it allows the bait to do when most people are pegging it, like the gill style baits that you mentioned. I mean, that they gained in popularity recently, right? But a lot
Yeah.
of people peg those. They're Texas, they're flipping, but it just doesn't do the same thing when you get that separation. And you're
Yeah.
right, your weight hits here if you're skipping it, and the bait ends up back there, and it's
Yep.
just gliding around, especially if it's a flat bottom, right? And it's got some width to it, like the gill baits. He says special.
Yeah.
Special. And there are other worm style baits, and we
Oh
don't
yeah.
have to go into all the secrets, but yeah, if you just experiment, especially if something's got a tab tail, it stalls it on the way down, and that float down. I've watched bass, like I'm combat fishing, Cypress, let's say, and I'm watching that bait just float, and literally watching the bass come up and eat it because it's got that natural presentation. Does the weight get their attention on the way down? Did they see a little flash and then that
Right.
bait following? It makes me think what's really going on there. That prey predator, let me get it first. It's wild. It's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
it's crazy. I see a comment, a free rig is a Texas rig, and I promise you it's
Negative,
not.
negative,
I
negative. And
promise, like, it's not. I've gotten totally different bites. Like fishing, like with my tournament partner, we're throwing the same bait. Like,
oh yeah,
one's Texas rigged, one's free rigged, and the free rig is getting more bites. I don't know, and like it looks like it's gonna do the same thing, but it's definitely not.
Mm-mm.
And it works like smallmouth, largemouth, everything.
So do you throw it both on a bait caster and spinning rod, depending on the size of the weight or and like, I guess, around structure, or are you strictly bait caster? What's your take on that?
Definitely just depends on the bait. Like in lacrosse, I started with a spinning rod because I was throwing a 3.5-inch bait. And then I watched some bluegill fishermen near me up there, like bluegill fishing is super popular. And they were catching bluegills that were literally like these giant things. The guy's like, he's like, the biggest one we caught yesterday was 1.5 pounds or like something absurd.
Holy
and
crap.
I was like, oh, I wonder if I should throw a bigger one. And like first cast with the bigger one, I was nervous because I didn't know if the smallmouth would eat it. And first cast, I caught a 3.5-pound smallie on the bigger gill bait. And after that, it was just 50-pound braid to a 20-pound leader, and I just swung every fish in the boat. So
that's really cool that you paid attention to a cue on the water, you put it together in your head and made an adjustment and got bigger bites. That's and got you second place. That's what you said, right?
Second out of 260. Yeah, so that was pretty
that's neat. Extraordinary. That's really cool. Thanks for sharing, man.
Yeah,
nice,
man. So. Yeah. Talk to me. How would you use a free rig up here on the St. Lawrence River? You mentioned you're familiar with this body of water. Let's say you were targeting smallmouth deep. Let's say they were deep fish. What would be your typical setup?
Up there, you probably want to honestly, you'd probably want to use a casting rod. Just because, like in the current, I haven't been up there in a couple of years to even like test this or try this or anything. I know a couple of years ago, a co-angler actually won one of the Toyotas using a free rig, and that was like the first time I had kind of heard of it. But I could see like the heavy weight deal being a big player because then you're basically. It kind of be like a Carolina rig, right? Like the weight's going to go down and stay, but now you're just going to kind of have this endless motion of this bait, like drifting into the back, like into the current. And you can almost let it sit there a little bit better. I would feel like I'd be curious. I don't know how the current would pull that bait. You definitely have to play with it a little bit.
That's interesting.
But I think a casting rod you would almost have to have a casting rod or a long, pretty stout spinning rod, because I even noticed like what happens is those fish eat it and you'll have so much slack in the free rig. Like you really kind of got to give it to them, or you'd probably gut hook a lot for sure doing that on the St. Lawrence, because there is a little bit of you don't have tension with the bait all the time, especially with a heavier weight, because like you kind of have a pinch point here. So like the fish will eat it and swim away with it, and you kind of just won't know until your line gets tight.
Yeah.
That was a big problem when I first started fishing it. But I've thought about that a lot. I don't know if you'd have to like spot lock and drop it and like kind of cast and let it drift back, or like on the drift if it would stay or something like that.
Walk me through like walk me through your initial cast and I guess the retrieve. And let's say you're in 10 feet of water with just rock around, no current. How would you fish it back to the boat?
Usually it's the initial cast is I'm going to let it sit there for a while. I learned that like on Candlewood years ago. We would watch the clock go by, throwing like a small jig and like honestly, like 3 to 5 minute casts.
That's hard for a lot of people.
Yeah, it definitely is. But like my theory was like let the fish come to the bait, and like with the free rig between the fall and just kind of like that weightless bait down there, like the slower you could fish it, the better. And you don't have to drag it all the way back to the boat, especially now with scope and 360. Like let it sit in that like high percentage area for a bit, move it, like just it's more like a shake.
That's what I was going to ask you. Would you let it sit and let's say it was a pretty long cast and you feel there's probably a few fish between you and that long cast. Would you just give it a real good crank up in the water column and just let it fall again for a little bit? Or
I've done both, honestly. I've done both. Like we had the Reynolds Championship in Maine, in Kabasakani this fall that we won. And that was a little bit of both. Like some of it was just let it sit on the rock, and some of it was like stroke it up real high, let it go back down, and it kind of like resets it. But sometimes I feel like that spooks the fish. Like on scope, I've seen it like because they see it go up. It's kind of like a day by day thing, or it like causes a reaction and they go get it.
80% initial drop, probably.
Yeah. I would almost say even more than that. Like that initial drop that's when it all happens.
I think you just hit on it again. It's depth, speed, and cadence, right?
Yep.
I mean, to me, cadence is are you popping it up again? Are you letting it dead stick?
Right.
You know, it's if you don't, and now scope allows you to see the reaction.
Exactly.
Prior, you had to like think about it in your mind and pay attention to what you were doing before you got that bite.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Depth, speed. I think a lot of fishermen know that. Depth and speed.
Yep.
But cadence is what you're doing with the bait, that rod action, imparting. Are you snapping it? Are you letting it, is it a gentle pull? Now you can watch them. It's cool. Yeah, I mean, you can really put it all together in your head.
Definitely can.
Neat, man. It's very cool.
I used a free rig last year in the spring. Just I rigged a tube with it and it works, but I don't think it was the right tube, but it definitely, I think a lot of guys just need to experiment maybe with some different plastics and see what it's endless, right? It's endless amount of options that you can.
It really is. Like some guys talk about floating plastics, like tube. You could put an earplug. I just thought about this. You put an earplug in a tube so it floats like away from the hook and stuff. Like I know some guys like floating, like elastic plastics, things like that.
It's the magic of fishing right there. It's cool.
So Mark in the comments goes, so is the retrieve a hop to create separation? So if you wanted some separation, let's say obviously if you're pulling and you get it tight, are you just reeling up, or are you going to try to?
You have to get it falling on that semi-slack line again, because if you reel it up, you're tight to the bait. If you let it fall on tight line, you're not going to get the separation. It's that semi-slack line that he's been talking about.
Yeah, the semi-slack. And sometimes, honestly, just drag it back to the boat. Like if it's on rock. In wood, it's kind of cool, or like some like brush and cover, because like that weight will fall through. The bait gets stuck up in it. Like at Eufaula a couple weeks, 2 weeks ago, like a lot of brush pile fishing. Weight falls through, and like that bait would just kind of float down through there. So
nice.
All right.
Nice. I could tell you guys a quick story about Noah Winslow. When I first met him back in 2019, I think it was. I don't even know if he remembers this story or not, but he wants to talk about painfully fishing a jig. I'm not going to say what area of the lake it was, but we blast off for the tournament, and he must have been like the boat right in front of us because there's a speed limit. And I'm like, man, I don't know. Me and this guy must be going to the same freaking area. And we end up pulling up to the same exact spot. And he went to the left a little, and I went to the right. And him and his partner were literally on their knees on the front deck, fishing these jigs so goddamn slow. and he was putting a clinic on in the smallmouth. And then I think me and my buddy got like an 8-pound largemouth, and he looked over at me like he wanted to kill me. You remember that, Noah?
I do remember that. Yeah. But yeah, we used to fish super slow, kneel down, especially in the wind. That was in the grass days of Candlewood, but that's all changed now, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean,
no grass, huh?
No grass carp.
Oh no, really? They ruined it. What the?
Yeah. I spent the first. It kind of sucks. Spent the first X amount, from the time I got my license to 2022, and then all of a sudden the grass disappeared, and we haven't had it since. And now you essentially have the lake changes every single year, like what you have to do. It used to just be you go flip grass from June to October, or you could do whatever you want. And now it's a pretty primed up lake for forward facing sonar. So
sure,
had jumped on that train early. Which helped. So
the one thing about that lake that is impressive compared to other lakes that I have personally witnessed weed eradication happen to is that Candlewood still pumps out massive bags years after the grass is gone.
Oh yeah, I honestly can't figure out. Every year I say like this is going to be the year, like it'll still take 24 to win, but second's going to be 19 or 18 or something like that. And like there was a tournament last weekend where like JP, I think you fished it, like 8th place was like 21 pounds and 24.
Oh, wow.
There's only 20 boats in the tournament. So like, half the field's catching 21 pounds, which is insane. But
that is, well, I mean,
it's got to be the fact that there's them alewive and them
it's all
big perch because
yeah.
And the trout, right? I mean, the largemouth anyway. That lake's loaded with trout. Them largemouth are eating them trout. I guarantee it.
Does anybody throw
there's
big
not as many
trout
as there
glides?
used to be.
Does anybody do that? Anybody try it? Does it work?
It doesn't. It like
That's
some guys will
wild.
catch them on it.
Yeah.
I've heard some stories. I think I've only caught like 3 bass on a glide bait on Candlewood, and I fished there like 100 days a year. Not that I tried very hard.
Yeah.
But.
Do they still stock?
So
or these are native.
When I actually, you could see it like the trout and salmon on the wall. Like when I first started fishing, when I was like my dad, like we.
Look at that. That's cool.
Trolled Candlewood Lake for trout. Like that was all I knew of Candlewood Lake. And there was a bunch, but the state, I also work for the state of Connecticut. With like the DNR. And they used to put like 25,000 trout a year in there.
Holy shit.
And like 10 years ago, for the past 10 years, they've only been putting like 3,000 to 5,000 in, which sounds like a lot.
I tell you, the last 2 years, I haven't caught as many. You used to, when you were throwing a jerkbait, you would catch trout. And the last couple of years, I haven't caught any trout.
Yeah, I literally saw a trout the other day, and I was like, I had 2 come up on a jerkbait, like visually saw them, and I was like, those are the first 2 trout like I've seen there in a long time.
When do they stock, Noah?
What was that?
When do they stock the trout?
Like right now.
Rainbows and browns?
Yeah, it used to be all browns, so they would do pretty good. Like guys used to catch, like when I was a kid, like it was pretty common to catch like 4, 5, 6 pounders. Like my dad has a couple like 8 to 10 pounders on the wall from there.
Holy crap.
From back in the day. They get like some pretty sciencey stuff, but like they think a lot of the wells on the lake. There's like that lake is very built up. Now everyone lives there like full time, and they think there's like one theory is that there's so much groundwater being pulled out that there's not enough cold like summer holes for those fish to go, and like a thermal refuge and a lot of those fish will like die, and they used to have big die-offs to begin with, and now they think it's even more.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. That's
fascinating. You see those big largemouth though, them real big ones, them 7 to 8 pound, and you're thinking that thing just ate a 14-inch trout, dude.
You think they're trout eaters?
Oh, absolutely. I know they are, because you'll be in an area like when Scope first came out, 2018, 19.
Yeah.
You'd be going through and you'd catch a trout, and then you'd smash a big largemouth. And I'm like, I know that largemouth was sneaking around them schools of trout, man.
Yeah. It also got an insane population of white perch and crappie too.
Does it really? White perch and crappie.
Yeah. It's kind of like and
alewives.
Yeah. it's a pretty special forage fish lake, so it just makes everything better. But
what do the bass prefer? Do they chase alewives like herring fish or kooky?
alewives.
They want to eat herring. So the bass there probably want to eat. Maybe that's why they're not big trout eaters. But JP, you got a point.
Yeah,
14-inch trout is a protein packed meal. How big does an alewive get? Like, what's a mega alewive? What's the average size?
Like this is a 675 seduce minnow, like about like that.
Oh, that's a good meal. They're pretty high in protein.
They'll get pretty big. Like if you put alewives in a lake, like in our part of, like in Connecticut, like you'll watch a smallmouth population like fluctuate totally based off of alewives.
What?
Yeah,
what do you mean? Like they're doing well, or they're just foraging on the alewives predominantly.
Like go from no smallmouth in a lake to there's endless amounts of them. If there's alewives or not, I've seen it with 3 different lakes. In my lifetime, because alewives have a really fast lifespan, and they're very susceptible to like different just kind of like different weather patterns. Like they could die, like if it gets really cold in December, let's say, like negative temperatures, lake doesn't freeze and you have a lot of wind, the lake will flip and the cold water will go down, instantly kill all the alewives. We've seen it happen on like a couple lakes. Like the lake I grew up fishing, it's a 350-acre lake. Guys used to catch 6 to 10 pound largemouth like pretty frequently, and tons of 4 to 6 pound smallmouth. It was like everyone called it mini Candlewood. And when I was like, I used to fish it in a kayak and a john boat, and probably like 15 years ago now, the alewives disappeared. And for like 5 or 6 years, like there was almost no smallmouth. And now it's like this factory of 3 to 4 pounders, and like every year you see them get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Do you just because the alewive population came back?
And I've seen that happen with 2 different lakes now.
I can't think of the name of the lake, but maybe you're familiar with it. I'm just curious if you ever fished it. I'm going to describe it because I don't remember the name, and if you don't want to say the name, you don't have to, but just tell me if I'm accurate on this. It was a pretty good lake when I went there. Smaller, but it's got an island out there and this crazy house on it. Does that ring a bell? It's like
a castle on it.
No, it's like a weird architectural house on a small island in that area. I don't know if you ever fished that lake.
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
You know it. You would know it's a crazy looking house. Like it's one of them what's the guy's name?
Frank Lloyd Wright.
Like a Frank Lloyd Wright house. Like it's one of them weird. Doesn't ring a bell, maybe.
Weensy's telling you to shut your mouth.
Weensy's telling you to shut up.
Weensy knows. He'll call you. Talk to him. He'll tell you.
So I'll tell you, my buddy Shane Mookie up there in
what a name,
Altamar, the steelhead guy. He did a huge article about how he was scared the alewi in Lake Ontario were going to get eradicated this year because there was so much ice. And it stayed so cold, and he was really worried about the turnover you're talking about, Noah. And then they got blessed with a bunch of warm water discharge because all the areas around that area got warm and the snowmelt happened. So he was like praising the fact that we got all that rain because the lake temperature came up enough that he's not worried about it anymore.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing, like how alewives work. Like they're like the life source, I feel like, of like, unless you have gobies, like I feel like in the Northeast, they're like the life source of like most lakes, and
very interesting.
So, like they're just so like
they're fragile, they're delicate. They're delicate.
I mean, if you have ever bought them, like down here, you could kind of buy them and like use them for bait in stores, and like you could put them in the best bait tank ever with the best bubbler, and like they're dead in 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Like,
you're like, we're captured. I don't want to live anymore.
I mean, you just look at Lake Champlain, and once they introduced alewive to Lake Champlain, the smallmouth bass had become a totally different fish.
Exactly. Like look at, I mean, they like don't live on boulders on Champlain like they used to. Now they just all roam because like they want to eat alewives. Like they don't care about the perch. Like they still eat perch, of course, but like I feel like the alewives just change fisheries because
it's going to be really interesting when the elites go up there with no scope this year to see.
Yeah.
I want to see how good the anglers that used to really do good there before the alewive were introduced.
Right.
go up there and they try to fish the history, and they're like, wow, what's going on here?
Yeah, the can pattern is going to be pretty heavily pressured that week. That's for sure.
Wow. Crazy. Times are changing.
Interesting stuff, what did you think of, I saw Randy Blockett caught a live scope fish last week.
Yeah, I talked to Matt Pangrek about the whole experience. It was really cool. He hasn't changed his mind though, apparently.
No, but even I watched him catch the fish, and even Randy himself said, "I'm not going to lie, that was pretty fun."
Oh, good. Well, there you go.
It's a cool thing. I don't care what anybody says. It's a good time. Like I watch like my guide clients and stuff all the time. Like especially the kids. Like as soon as you like show them like a little bit, kids, demonstrate it, like they get eaten up with it, and they learn it so fast. And they like
they're digital kids,
going.
Man.
Yeah,
they're digital kids for sure.
Yeah,
doing exactly what they need.
Any way to get more kids fishing. That's how I started.
100%.
Like, one of my sponsors does that too. It's called Outdoor Stewards of Conservation. Like they have like a come with me program deal. It's all about getting people like bringing somebody fishing, post about it, cleaning up trash, like the whole nine. But like,
that's a great thing.
Forward facing has totally like just brought like more people, like some kids fishing and stuff like that. So
I went out, I did some fishing, just some multi-species fishing this week with the Lund, and I have a live scope on the pole. So it's a little different. It's a handheld pole on that boat. And I had an 8-year-old with me and my son Cole, and I asked him on the way home, I go, would you think you'd ever want to take any of your friends fishing? You know, because I did that growing up all the time. And
what'd he say?
It's kind of sad. He's like,
what?
And he's got a lot of friends. He's like, I don't know any friends that fish. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what do you? He's like, oh no, they always play like Minecraft and video games. And I was just like, what the F? You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
that's crazy to me. And he's loving it. Like, I mean, I was very impressed with him at 8 to be able to. I mean, he's been casting a bait caster since he was for sure 3.
Oh yeah, he was good.
But I mean, to cast a net and catch a steelhead from casting it to bringing it to the boat. Of course, I thought it was just a bass. So I'm trying to grab it with my hand and it's slimy. And I had to grab the net for this thing. But I mean, I was like super impressed, and he was jacked about it. But I was just like, let's bring a buddy out here. And it's like,
well, why don't you get him to bring a buddy and turn some kids on to fishing?
I don't
like Noah was the. You don't want to do that.
I'm not going to teach some video gamer how to fish. Come on.
Maybe.
Well, aren't you teaching a video gamer how to video fish on live scope? It's perfect.
Exactly.
That's what they want to do.
Maybe your son had such a good time just hanging out with his dad going fishing. He just wanted to be you and him out there.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, well, maybe.
But
I don't think he's sophisticated enough at 8 to like think like that. Like, if I tell my dad, I'll take my friend. I mean, JP, you're giving him too much credit. He's 8. I think he's got it. His kids.
I don't know. When I was 8 years old, there was nobody else I wanted to hang out with but my dad, man.
Well, that was your dad. This is Travis now. Let's be honest.
Wow, no,
Travis is a good dad.
I was freaking
Travis. I'm messing with you, man.
Bro, I retied so many knots. JP, I gotta get that FG knot figured out because we were slinging. I'm sick of it. And then it was so windy, and my hands were numb, and I tied my knot, but it was too thick, and then he couldn't cast it right. And then he was getting pissed off at me. I was like, I gotta retie it.
You think you're gonna have an easier time windy, cold hands tying an FG? Fuck that knot. FD knot.
No, what you use an FG?
I don't use an FG. I use that double Alberto knot.
Me too. That's a good one.
The FG, like I will say, like with the free rig or like throwing, I use a lot of braid to leader now. I go back and forth like every 3 years, I feel like. But I do like always on spinning gear, but on casting gear. The FG is nice because it goes through the guides on casting gear way nicer. But like the double Alberto just doesn't break. And like that thing, and I could tie it with my eyes closed in 5 seconds. So
right on. How many wraps up down do you do?
It all depends on line size usually.
Fair, but like 10-pound braid, 8-pound leader, for instance.
10-pound braid, like usually 6 up, 6 down, I think, something like that.
It's easy, man. Oh my gosh.
I mean, you could literally like, it's all about like the way you hold it, and like once you figure out what works for you, like it just goes so fast.
I agree. And then to me, if you really want to get finicky with it, if you're doing it right, if you can get the wraps down after you've gone down, the wraps up to go in between the other wraps, it gets way smaller.
Yeah.
You hear what I'm saying, right? If you take your time and keep separation, wrapping down, and then once you go up, wrap the next wrap in between the line. They're not laying on top of each other all crumpled up. That's why you get the big knot. So if you just take a little bit of time.
If you do it right, it's
ultra thin for what it is, man.
Yeah,
I agree
but you can tie an FG knot in 45 seconds.
Hey, listen, JP, 3 fucking years later, he still can't tie it. Shut up. You got the brain because you're mechanical. Me and Travis are not. I tried to tie it at the beach. I went off on SmallmouthCrush one night. No, you laughed your ass off. I called it the FT knot. Fuck that knot. I'm not wasting my time. Travis was like, I'm going to take all winter to perfect it. He still ain't done it. And I feel his pain. I watched a video at the beach, and like my knot ended up like, I had a knot that was going out the line like this. The line was here, and this knot ended up that way. And then some young guy was like, he's like, oh, let me take that. Yeah, I got it. His knot looked really shitty too. And then Jack Rinker's like, it can't be that hard. I'm like, you try it, Jack. We were all laughing, man. It was horrifying. I'm like, what a ridiculous thing. And who ever heard of a knot that needs a knot over top of the knot so it doesn't unravel? That's just stupid. A knot for a knot? No, not doing it. It's getting me spun up again, JP. F that knot. FT knot.
That's fine.
All right. I got a couple of questions. What
the classic. I can't hear about the classic.
Obviously that was probably an incredible experience. But I want to know, how do you feel when like the whole world's watching that event? Like,
great question.
Did that go through your mind at all, or did you not care?
I kind of didn't care as much as I thought I was going to, because I like told myself like I didn't want to get worked up into it, and I don't get like very excited like about like I don't get all amped up and like worked up about stuff like that. But it was a big thing. Like we had a bit like at Reynolds Garage Marine did like a big party for me, like a send off thing. So like a ton of people came. Cool. Ton of people supported, so it's kind of like I did a talk there, and they're like, "What do you like?" I forget what they asked, but it was basically like, "Just don't." Like I answered it like, I don't want to suck." Like like I just want to like I wanted a good showing, like for myself, and also like because everyone was like there supporting, as watched a lot of people around here. Like I got started doing it when I was so young. People have literally watched me grow up. So
how'd you end up?
I came in 20th, so I made the day 3 cut.
Good job, man. I was there at media day. I walked by your boat, didn't know who you were, and I literally didn't watch any of the coverage because I was walking around the show with Ken Duke and just meeting a bunch of people. It was great. I had a great time. I went out to dinner with Edwin Evers. I think the sport has changed where you look at the makeup, like maybe if we took you back to when you were 13 and you made the classic. I'm making this up.
Right.
You might have been in awe of the legends. The legends aren't the legends anymore, right? Because the sport has changed. A 20-year-old won it. So I can see how you wouldn't be like, oh, I can compete with these guys. Whereas if you took me back to the day, and by the way, I don't scope fish, right? That's just not my style. I see the power of the tool, but the game has changed. A show on Bass After Dark's coming up and the name of the show is, will the sport produce another legend? Will the sport produce another legend? And there used to be rivalries. I don't see that dynamic anymore. And so in my mind, if I were you, I'd be going, I can compete with anybody. I don't think you could go back a decade and say that for what the sport was then.
Yeah.
It's changed. It's different.
Definitely a couple things on that I noticed and like talked about with like some friends. Like one thing, the rivalries that like jumped in, but like, like you used to have like back in the day, like Tommy Biffle would be like, this 4 mile stretch is my stretch, what I mean?
Yeah.
On it. Like there's like A, there's none of that, but B, like everybody is so friendly. Like whether they are like afterwards or not, I don't know. But like everybody talked to everybody. There was no like killer, like I'm gonna like beat you type deal. It was just like everybody was like, obviously everybody's there to win, but everybody was also there like just having a good time and just like talking with everybody. So like that part has definitely changed, where I feel like there was a time where like you had the rivalries like Kevin and Ike, and you know, it obviously changed throughout. It's Kevin and Skeet, you know.
Oh yeah, it's a different day. I wonder, who do you think the future legends will be, like of your generation? I don't know how old you are, Noah.
I'm 27.
Okay, so you're in your 20s, and a 20-year-old just won the classic. Who are the future legends in your class did you see emerging?
So Dylan and I actually qualified together. I did get to beat Dylan Nutt one time in my life. So
that's awesome. All right.
But I think it comes down to like, to me, like I look at kids like Tucker Smith that are like, Tucker, to like he's a super nice person, but B is also very good with scope, without scope.
Sure.
Like, and I think it comes down to like, or I don't know exactly how to word it, but like, when are we just gonna like accept that scope, accept or decline like what live scope is, and like where is that gonna fall? Because like, if let's say like 10 years down the road, everyone's like, wow, those debates we had about live scope were so dumb, like this has just been part of the sport. Like you're gonna look at kids like Dylan or Easton or Tucker and be like, they're so good. Like they're so
they're gonna have a chance to prove it because it's half and half this year.
Right.
Who knows what it'll be next year? But the sport is already trying to test the debate, right? And some of it's being settled, some of it's still up in the air, but it's going to be interesting. Will they continue to have a half, 4 hours only? You know, everybody's got a different format this year. It'll be interesting. And then there's one league that has no scope, and that's NPFL.
Right.
So in high school's unlimited, as I understand it still, or no? I don't know.
I don't even know, to be honest.
Yeah. What about college? Do they limit it, or is it
I think one league limited it, one doesn't. I don't really keep up that much, but
okay. Anyway, it'll be interesting to see.
Trey McKinney is number 2 in angler of the year right now. Half with, half out. He's going to be a future legend.
Yeah, that's probably the best.
He's calling the shot. There it is.
That's easily the best.
And he has the rivalry. Him and Johnston had the rivalry over there on the St. Lawrence River 2 years ago.
Him and Johnston have a rivalry?
When they were battling it out on that spot with Gee, him and Robert Gee and the Johnstons had the rivalry going. It's still there. It's all a matter of perspective and following it 100% and having an open mind to the rivalries are different now. The fishing's a little bit different now. Oh, you don't remember when they sent the one guy to go and get another guy to come to the spot to take up more of the area to try to make it so that the one guy could win?
No,
you know, we all know the Johnstons work together, and Robert Gee was going to win that tournament, but then one of the Johnstons came into the area, so then Robert Gee went and got Trey McKinney and brought Trey back over into the area to try to put more pressure on the area so they could win the tournament. It's still there if you follow it. It's just a different time.
Yeah, I don't follow it anymore. But yeah, I mean, that's interesting insights, JP. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Trey's definitely just on another planet, it seems like right now. So that's JP. That's definitely like the solid answer. Like, I don't think you can go wrong with that one.
There you go.
When I fished the elites, I was extremely intimidated because it was that class of the guys you grew up watching, and there wasn't really too many new guys. Like it wasn't like that. And for me, it was different because I just started bass fishing 2 years prior.
Oh yeah, you were a newbie.
I didn't know shit.
But did you know their names, Travis? Like when you
I knew all for sure.
Yeah. You followed it back then. Did you like follow the sport? Because I know that you don't much now.
When I first got into it,
you were a fan. Okay.
Yeah, when I first got into it and then qualified so quickly, it was like, I mean, I remember setting the hook on fish and my spinning rods were going backwards because they were so old and beat up. Like it wasn't anything like I I can't even believe I attempted to compete on the elites with this shit I had.
That's funny. And right now, it would be the perfect setup because that's what they're spinning rods. We're back. Yeah. Remember, like, did they like go? Was anybody calling you guy who used the fairy wand? Remember that?
I mean, era? I remember in Florida.
Like,
I remember the first event in Florida. Mark Zoni came up to me and he congratulated me. I had a really good bag on day one, drop shot.
Nice.
Spinning grass. While KVD's just throwing a square bill next to me, it was wild, you know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You used to get persecuted for throwing a spinning rod. You were a fairy wand guy. Now it's like it'll beat your ass. I mean, I've always thrown a spinning rod, so I'm like, I don't care what they say. It catches fucking fish. I don't care how I fish for them. Braid, light line, heavy line, braid to fluoro, doesn't matter.
It was crazy. Yeah. Like the only time I had that moment, like that you guys were talking about, was at honestly after day 3 with Brandon Polinick. I've literally watched him. I've just watched him since I was a little, like not little, but I was like 10, 12. Like I was definitely younger. Like I always looked up to him, and then like we were talking.
I like him.
We were talking because like I had a rag that was in Brian Kirchhoff's boat when he won the Classic in '94.
No way.
Because prior he was the only person to ever win from the nation, and I was also from Connecticut.
How'd you get that?
Oh wow!
One of my friend, like a mentor of mine and like very good friend, they used to run a Kirchhoff kids camp.
No way.
When they were going through, they like donated. Brian's parents like donated all the tackle to people that
no way.
Like to all the kids in the camp and stuff. And like in one of the tackle bags from the plane was this like Yamaha rag. And I'm with Peter Yamaha, so I had this Yamaha rag like in my boat the whole time. That was was in Brian's boat the whole time too.
That's really cool that you had his spirit with you, man. That's really cool.
Yeah. So I showed Brandon that because when in 2012, I think that was when he blew the whistle and all that stuff. So but that was like the moment where I was like, holy crap! Like it kind of hit you. Like
yeah, because I mean you're a nation guy, right? I mean that's I mean you're following in his footsteps and you've got something of his.
Right.
And you're both from Connecticut. He's the only one to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool moment, man. Thanks for sharing that. I like Brandon Polinick. He seems like a genuine guy.
Very cool, dude.
So obviously it's awesome making the Classic in Knoxville, but out of all the places the Classic has been, where would you have preferred it to be?
Good question.
I think I wanted it to be in Knoxville.
Really?
Honestly.
What?
Yeah, just because. Well, I didn't really think I didn't know there was 27 pounds worth of fish, like largemouth, that swam in that place. And I don't think a lot of people did because all the past Classics had been smallmouth fishing. And that, like, Fort Loudon and Tellico are two very different bodies of water. Like, Fort Loudon is Tennessee River, like, that's what it is, but it fishes just like it. Where Tellico felt like I went to Dale Hollow like a couple weeks before, and it felt like you were at like Dale Hollow or like some lakes around here. The smallmouth did all the same things. Like in practice the week prior, it got really, really warm, like the week of, and it kind of scattered the fish. But like the first day of practice, I had 22.5 pounds of smallmouth, like within the first 2 hours. It fished like exactly how a place I wanted it to fish. It fished like Candlewood. There's no grass. Like it's just how, like, it was clean water, a lot of big smallmouth, like way more than I felt like I remembered in the past. But when it got warm, those fish just kind of scattered. And like couldn't really figure out like where they were going. And I talked to a couple other guys too, and like they agreed, like it was strange. Like you'd have a school of like, I had 6 or 7 schools of probably like 20 to 30 fish. And like, you'd go to the areas that you would expect them to go to. And it was just the same thing, like small fish. Like, I don't know where the big ones kind of went off to. It was strange.
That's
did
wild.
Did you go down and practice prior to the cutoff?
I did. Yeah. I went for like a week or something like that.
Did you, what made you, when you said you had a big bag in practice right away in 2 hours, like, was that something that you saw in pre-practice, or was that something you just like, how'd you come across that right away?
It was a little bit in pre-practice. Like I had an idea for like how the lake was going to work and like set up like that. Now when I go to lakes, like I kind of just want to figure out like, how does like the bait move? How do the fish move? And it like, you could kind of tell really fast with scope. But there's like this one air, like down by the dam, not like where like the spot Gussie won. That wasn't even a player, but in that whole general area, you had some deep water stuff and some shallow water stuff. And it was pretty quick. Like I had caught like a 4.5 smallmouth shallow. And then there was some roamers like around that stuff. And they were on like little pieces of brush. But then a big key for me, that I did find in pre-practice, but I wasn't sure how far I wanted to run. Because running up into Tellico, it's far, like it's 75, 80 miles from takeoff. So in pre-practice, I hadn't gone that far, but I was fishing these like saddles, like anywhere there was a saddle between an island or just like in the channel where it came up. And those fish like used that heavily. Like I ended up actually like, I caught some fish on a blade bait, even like in the tournament.
Wow.
A lot of them were just on clay.
Crazy.
Like where Easton fished day one. Like I literally like texted my parents and like my best friend, like after practice that day. And I was like, this is like where Easton, where he was leading day one. I was like, this is like a potential winning school smallmouth. Like there was so many fish there and there was just one stump, like, on a saddle that met a basin and like the current, like, so you had some wind driven current there and then some current on the backside. And like, there was an incredible amount of fish there. There was pretty like perfect places. And then it was kind of just led up to like a 14 or 15 foot flat where like they would clearly like just disperse from. And if you could find, and I was looking for places, Tellico was kind of like you would have like a lake section and then it'd be a big narrow section with a bunch of little arms and stuff. And then there'd be like another like big lake section with islands and then it'd be straight and then again. And in all of those lake sections is where like I was able to find bigger groups of smallmouth. Like, I don't know if it was like more of like a wintering thing. Like they want to get out of like those narrower sections and they would like really be like populations of bass more so than like some one-off little groups here and there.
Interesting.
And you're
Very
saying
cool.
as the practice progressed and the tournament progressed, those fish just dispersed.
Yeah, and they got smaller too. It was weird. And like I talked to like Fisher and Naya about it, the same thing. And like some of the guys, like, because I wanted to learn too. Like I was like, am I doing something wrong? And like they were all cool. So like we were talking about it, and they're like, we don't know where they're going either. But like all of our fish are there. They just got smaller. Like you would just, instead like in practice, it was a lot of, like 380s to 4 1/4s, where in like by the time the tournament came, it just became like a lot of the males, which doesn't make sense. Like it got warm. You think the males would go first, but just became a lot smaller fish,
Do you think it was fishing pressure?
It definitely could have been pressure.
That's the only thing that, I mean, I'm trying to put it together in my mind too. It's like warm, go to where they're going to do their thing, right?
They also would not eat a minnow. They would not eat a minnow. Like they wanted something going fast. You definitely had to get a reaction bait. That's where like the blade bait idea was a fantastic idea.
That's really cool that you threw a blade bait. That's I love it, man. That's very what blade bait, if you don't mind me asking?
Just a Demiki Vault.
Blade. Great one. Yeah, I like that Fish Lab. It's got that pot belly.
Yeah.
It's got a nice hard, super hard thump. I like that same concept.
I just purchased some from a company called Fish Daddy, and it's a blade bait that has a light that flashes inside of it.
You did not buy that. No way.
Yeah, I
don't
did.
believe it. I don't believe you did.
Got one tied on.
I don't believe you. No way. That's such a gimmick thing, man. What are you doing, dude?
When I told my buddies I was catching them on a blade bait, they laughed.
They couldn't believe it.
I hate throwing a blade bait. Like Candlewood, it was like a thing. Like it's a thing here, or was a thing here forever.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. A lot of
man. Yeah.
And I
never stopped catching them.
Here you just get snapped. We have so many stone walls and logs. You just get snapped. Like,
don't even talk about it. Try doing that around the dock with ropes and freaking pilings, and the blade bait's like you pitch it, and it's like it doesn't land, it doesn't go straight down. It goes whoop, and then right onto the pole. Oh man, I hate it.
We have so many house foundations here. I don't know
just maddening. And then you see the guy with the number 2 Gamakatsu hooks with braid, and I'm like, you didn't catch any of those fish. You snagged every one. He goes, everybody else is doing it. I'm like, that's bullshit.
Isn't that where the bench kind of came in? Was Candlewood, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
It might be, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either, Travis.
Yeah, we had him on the show, and he talked about Candlewood.
I don't remember the Candlewood part. I'd loved having him on the show. He was great, man. He was a fun guest.
I love blade baits. That brings me a question. No, what would be like your favorite non-forward facing sonar technique?
For offshore or for fishing shallow?
I guess
both.
How about
both? We got time.
All right, yeah, both.
Why not?
I'm not a bit. I used to love. I love cranking more than anything.
Me too.
They don't really eat it good on Candlewood anymore after the grass because they saw it so much.
It sucks.
So I'm gonna have to put cranking in there.
Yay!
But also,
let's go fishing.
A jig, probably a jig is like the open water sniper or just any jig. Honestly, like whether I'm flipping or just casting, dragging on structure, like that was how I learned how to fish offshore. Like certain lakes around here, like throwing a marker buoy out, dragging a jig. And
Dragging's fun, man. It is a good bite.
I learned a lot with that. It was fun. Like you use big line. I like to fish slow. I'm like a power finesse fisherman. I'll fish slow, really fast. That was always my favorite, but cranking definitely, shallow or deep, didn't matter. I loved both.
Oh man, for sure, dude.
The year the grass all died and disappeared in Candlewood was like a crankbait fisherman's dream. I was giving guide clients like a blitz on a spinning rod, and I would just be like, throw it into there. It was just as many fish as you wanted to catch. Didn't matter how you wind it.
So good.
You like those blitzes?
It's a pretty nice crankbait, that's for sure.
No doubt about it.
I have if I'm going to pick up a crank, it's going to be a Rapala DT or a Blitz. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I got a little special crankbait. When I go to see Travis, I had TK Stanley paint him. It's like, think of a finesse wigglewort with hunting action. Yeah. I found like, oh man, and I caught some nice smallmouth with my buddy Joe Raymond on a jet boat, floating the Juniata on his new Banshee jet boat. And no, it was really wild because, you know, I figured at this point with the water temp where it was that I could burn, stop, and do really well. Dude, I had to literally make a 45-degree cast downstream, get it in the current, and then get contact with the bottom and stay and like count rocks with the crankbait. But when they loaded up, it was so much fun, dude. They were eating it, dude. Oh my gosh.
I love crankbait. Like that is my favorite. Like before I like fished a jig, like where JP watched me like kneeling down on the front of the boat and stuff like that. Like we used to like lock a red Series 3 crankbait in our hand and just like just go to town and like learn very quickly if you like want to get just out of a check range or the last check, like throw a crankbait on Candlewood. That's the deal. But we like you'd catch like there were some days you just catch as many fish as you want and it was just fun, you know.
Now
unfortunately that's kind of on the wayside.
What are some of your a lot, man? I love it.
What are some of your favorite Beast Coast products that you like to throw?
The open water sniper is a pretty easy one there. I think we all enjoy throwing that bait. Yeah. But recently it's been the Big Seduce, the 675. It just especially for largemouth or colder water fish. That bait's been pretty incredible for me. Especially like I'll like every minnow, like as for a different situation. And this thing, like when you have bigger, like colder water largemouth, it rocks really, really good when you rig it on the top with the jig head in the top of the head. And that thing just, I did filmed with a kid in the fall and like I caught like a 6.5 and a couple other big ones on it. Like that bait it's really, really, really good. And there's some new stuff coming with that too. You know, a little bit of a tease, but like it's going to be some more like TPE style stuff, and the bait's going to be a lot softer. So some cool stuff coming down the pipe for the seduce minnow.
Nice. What about that size for smallmouth? Would it have a time and place, or is that a little too large, you think? What's your gut feeling on that?
Almost always. Now I won a nation tournament yesterday, and I pretty much only throw a bigger minnow for smallmouth and largemouth. Like there are certain days, like you kind of got to let them tell you what they want, but there's definitely some days or times of the year, like in the fall, they definitely like a bigger bait. I noticed, but they kind of don't care. Like as long as you have a big alewife like forage base, they'll eat it. I've noticed like if you have smaller bait, of course, like they're just gonna eat a smaller one.
Mark asks, what size jig head do you normally use in that one, in the bigger?
Yeah, so usually it depends on how deep I'm fishing, or it depends on a couple different factors, but you kind of can't go wrong with a 3/16. You could either use like Beast Coast has a head for it. I build all my own heads. I build the tungsten head and I pour my own lead and stuff. I've done that forever, mainly because I just want like a specific hook. Get pretty particular about it with what I like based off of like rod setup. But if a 3/16 gets the job done, you can't. If you could throw an 1/8, you could throw a 1/4. But they'll swing out of the cone too fast, like away from the fish with a 1/4. And sometimes an 1/8 isn't enough weight for when the bait, like when you're shaking it and it falls on its side, an 1/8 isn't enough to get it to really roll. And I've just found a 3/16 is kind of perfect.
Gotcha. Okay. What kind of trailers do you like on some of those, the football head jigs?
I'm pretty like dead set on a speed craw, or for smallmouth, just like some sort of Ned bait. But the speed craw, like cold, like it could be 38-degree water or 85-degree water. And I just feel like the speed, like a speed craw, match the color, just gets it done for me.
Gotcha. Let's see what else we got in the comments here. What's your favorite body of water besides Candlewood? Like well known.
Probably Champlain. I love Ontario. I've spent a decent amount of time on the river, not so much on the lake on Ontario, which would probably be my favorite. But I just love Champlain because you could do so many different things like in the same day. It just provides like you go frog and flip for largemouth, and then you can go catch a bunch of smallmouth offshore. It's just so big and so vast, and like Ticonderoga is just like a whole place of itself, and then the northern part, there's just so much to do there. I think it's Champlain for sure.
Sure. Okay. I wanted to ask you this about the Classic. Did you make any purchases or anything like kind of like, I don't know if you want to call it a reward or kind of newer gear or anything like that to prepare for the Classic, or did you just kind of roll in with what you had? Or tackle purchases, things like that.
So I didn't really have to make any like tackle purchases. I've been with Shimano and Loomis since I was 16. So I've got a ton of gear from them. That stuff's incredible. I got some new stuff. Yeah, I've got some new stuff from that. From the classic though, I got hooked up with Skeeter Yamaha, which has been amazing. So
That's
that was
awesome.
a really cool deal that came with that. So I guess that would be a pretty big purchase that I made for the classic, but yeah.
Very cool. Man. Eric, I think JP took off.
All right. Wow.
He does that sometimes.
I know. I've got a house guest here, and I've been dedicated to the show for an hour and 40 minutes.
Good stuff, man.
But this has been fantastic, man. I mean, I'm just excited that you got to share your techniques. We talked about free rigging, cranking. I mean, you're speaking to me, man. And Shimano Loomis, are you kidding me?
Oh yeah.
Wow. Too bad there wasn't grass on Candlewood. I'd hire you next week to go up there and crank that sucker dry. I don't care.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite Loomis or Shimano setup?
Oh, Travis, I can't hear Noah now.
Oh, you can't?
Like I just lost him.
I can hear him.
What is going on with this StreamYard on my phone?
I don't know.
No, say something one more time.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, nope. That's crazy.
I can hear him.
I know you can.
I can hear him. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to.
What are we going to do?
I think this was a great show. A lot of great information. I know kind of got me excited to bring out the free rig again and use that. Maybe experiment with some of the bigger size Seduce. If you don't mind, though, I'd love to have you back maybe late summer. Kind of give us an update. You know what I mean?
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do it.
How the tournaments have been going, and man, that would be that'd be exciting. When does it wrap up? The
EQs don't wrap up till November. So it's a long.
I'm trying to read his lips. I think I heard what he said. I mean,
long drawn out season. So
sure.
That definitely be cool to do.
That would be awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I guess Eric, you can hear me.
Yep.
We're going to figure this out. We're going to let Noah go. I appreciate you hanging out with us tonight, Noah, and we will see you again. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Noah. That was fantastic, man. All the best, man. Tight lines out there, man. Hope you crush it.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you. All right. That was good, man.
Man, it was fantastic.
I don't know what the deal is with the sound.
I don't get it. Like it was working fine. And I rolled over to have a piece of cheesecake with my buddy, and now it's wasn't working when I came back.
I'd love
That's bizarre. I don't either. Oh man,
I got a big day tomorrow. I got to clean the whole boat up.
All right,
like really clean, like scrub, like
do your thing. Yeah,
it's gonna be a 8 to 10 hour. Oh, I got to work on the bathtub tonight.
Oh, yeah, I got a big list too, man. Yeah, get that thing right for the season.
Get things figured out.
Yeah, that's where I'll be sleeping, right? Make sure that shit is.
No, you sleep down here, man.
I'm messing with you, man. I don't care. All I need is a couch and a sleeping bag. I'm good.
All right.
Roll out.
Oh, we got to draw a winner. I'm gonna wait a little bit. There's only 2 people. I got 10 entries for the super chat.
Bless you.
Not bless me. I was.
I know. I just thought I'd say something stupid.
Don't forget, guys, I also have this Saturday, the 18th, if you'd like. I got that open, as well as the 21st and 22nd next week. Other than that, I am completely full. And I think we got to do the winner for the guide trip on the 5th.
Yep.
And that is I gotta find it. So he's on Instagram, and I don't know his real name, but Drummy33, you won the May 5th trip. I'll reach out to you tomorrow. And
cool.
And hold on, I got. I'm gonna give you. So I think I have one more reel available. code. So if anyone wants to reach out, otherwise everyone else kind of grab them. Before you leave, Eric, I just want to look through here. If you didn't use your codes, guys, if you could just say, "Oh, I didn't use it," I'm not going to get mad. There will be other people that would definitely love to use it.
Oh yeah, that's a great thing, man. That's really cool, Travis.
Copied the code. It's not working. That ain't good.
That ain't good.
Why isn't it working?
I don't know. You'll have to reach out to St. Croix customer service tomorrow.
Maybe will.
Maybe you dreamt it. Maybe your chat GPT was dreaming.
No, I have it right here.
Oh. Reach out to customer service tomorrow. See what's up.
I'll give you, David is the one that replied. I'm going to give you one more. It should work. Let me know in the comments, guys. If Waves, I got you. I see you for the super chat now. Let me look in the comments real quick. If you guys could let me know if anyone used the code and did it work tonight, because now I'm a little nervous. Okay. So Mark says it works.
Okay.
Let me give you another one. Here we go. Should just be stcroix.com. I think I know what happened. Hold on. Bear with me. And then we got to pick a winner here. Eric, what do you got going on the rest of the week?
Just working on the property, getting ready for rental season. And, in between, I got a buddy down here helping me and got some work meetings and what else? And I'm fishing another tournament with Scooter on Kerr this weekend.
Hold on.
All right.
Actually, use the first code I gave you and make sure you're St. Croix rods.com, but 7reels.com. Chat or voice activation didn't work.
Interesting.
Hold on.
My bud's waiting for me to start a movie, bud.
Okay, hold on. We got to talk about that real quick.
What do you mean?
Use this website. I think you're in the factory store.
There it is.
Okay. So you have a male friend that you guys are going to watch a movie together that came over late. I'm not going to ask questions. That's cool.
No. He's down here helping me with like painting and getting the house ready.
Ready to get off live so you guys can eat popcorn and watch a movie.
Bingo.
Or cheesecake. Did he make the cheesecake for you?
No, he didn't make the cheesecake. It's Sara Lee, buddy. The strawberries on top. Yeah.
You bought a Sara Lee cheesecake?
I don't even care what kind it is. It just tasted good. I'm definitely getting a second piece. It's good. I only got a skinny slice.
Here, we want to know one final question.
Oh, definitely. We're going to watch either Snatch, which is one of my favorites, Guy Ritchie film. I think I'm going to make him watch that. As he's going to really enjoy it. Who else has watched Snatch in the comments? Anybody? I'll have to turn on the comments. Hold on so I can see what people say.
Yeah.
All
right. While you're doing that, I'm going to pick the super chat winner.
Do it.
Hold on.
Cam.
There we go.
Artemis 2 was a fake.
Oh, you know it was, right? Why are you laughing? Congratulations.
All right. Sweet. I think he's holding a steelhead.
I saw that.
Guy Ritchie is the man. No doubt about it, man.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that moon landing?
I mean, I didn't even watch it.
Thank you. You just saw the actors mess up in the press conference. It was so crazy.
No way.
Yeah.
How about that? That's just
her handler dropped like her handler, her earpiece didn't work. She stumbled. Just some crazy stuff. You should see when the astronauts were getting put into the guy. I mean, they have a lot of symbols. This guy had like a full beast demon tattoo on his.
You watch
hand.
you watch too much YouTube, bro. I would love to just say, how did you get here? And then you can ask me how I got there. And then we can have a really interesting conversation on the way to the ramp. We're not going to listen to that guy anymore. We're just going to talk about how each of us arrived at our beliefs and with mutual respect and admiration for the other. No yelling. Don't yell at me. Don't call me
I don't
dumb.
think I yell anymore.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good. You were really good when I was walking around Home Depot today, man.
Lowe's.
You were. That's what I meant. You mentioned I should have gone to Home Depot. I had a gift card for Home Depot, but that's like 10 more miles up the road. Man, I was in a hurry to get materials.
All right, when you coming back? You going to be down there for a while?
I'll be back. Well, I'm fishing Kerr, and then I'm going to come home this weekend. Yep.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm already in North Carolina. Why not stay? Instead of driving 5 hours home, 5 hours back. But who knows? I might get a wild hair and go home Thursday and mow the lawn. It's going to be 90 this week in Maryland.
90?
90. Multiple days.
Your system's going to be shocked when you come up here.
I'm telling you, right? I know.
You have like, do you have like green like leaves and stuff?
Oh, yeah. Pollen's everywhere. Everything's blooming.
What?
Oh, yeah. There's azaleas blooming here. Oh, yeah. Pollen everywhere. Pollen everywhere.
Yeah,
yep.
I got.
No doubt.
We got no green.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, I'll be ready, brother. All right, let me jump, man. Thanks
All right,
everybody
guys,
for hanging out.
Until next time, we'll see you guys on the water.
Awesome, Travis. Great show tonight, everybody. Great show. Thanks for the comments. It was fantastic. Way to get another good guest on, man. You're doing good.
Oh, we got another great guest next week lined up.
What in the heck is going on with Travis Manson and SmallmouthCrush?
All right, go watch your movie,
baby. Peace, everybody.
All right, see you guys.
See you.
All right.